Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 18 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Robin and her kitty cat Ginger! Yay! Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you're staying cool wherever you are. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below because we've got so many spaces left. Okay, so quick recap on last night. Natalie was evicted by a vote of 3 to 0. Goodbye. And they had the slip and slide HOH competition. Yay! This is always one of my favorites every season. So the feeds came back on after the show with the HOH competition in progress. And come on, let's be real. Corey was in the lead the whole time. He was only working on the big bowl. He didn't even bother with the smaller one. He was like, no, I'm just gonna beast this out. I mean, he's a tall guy. His strides were longer. He's a friggin' athlete, so he's got that endurance. So let's talk about some of the others. James really sucked. I think he was definitely throwing this competition too, especially since he saw that Corey was in the lead. But he was going really slow. He was falling down. He was crawling on the ground. Paul was falling a lot too, but I think he was actually trying. He kept switching back and forth between the two bowls, and I think he actually got his smaller one filled, but then he couldn't get the ball out of there. So I don't think he ever actually got the bigger scoop. But he was also trying to slide on his butt for a while. It just didn't happen for him. Nicole was catching up quickly once she got the big scoop. She also, you know, went for the scoop, but was successful. It took her a while to get the ball out of there too. It was really weird. But once she did get the scoop, she was moving very quickly, but it was not enough to catch Corey. She later revealed, too, that she was not giving it her all. She was throwing that to Corey. So Corey won the HOH, and it was over around 8:06 p.m., which means it took, I guess you could say, like an hour and 20-ish minutes if they started like 15 minutes before the show ended. So, yeah. I feel like this one went faster than it has in the past. I don't know if the stuff was thicker. I think the cup or the little scoop that they gave them was bigger than what they normally have. I just feel like it went a lot faster than usual. But anyway, after the competition was over, James has a minute to think, and he starts missing Natalie. He's like, "What's up, America? Feel like I just got done with a breakup," he says. His girl is gone. His bed feels lonely. Is he talking about Natalie's bed or his punishment bed that he used when he was in the doghouse? Because they didn't actually really share a bed that often, but okay. So Paul comes in. He's like, "Who you talking to, you D-hay?" He's like, "Oh, the live feeders." So then Paul is like, "Oh man, I got all this Crisco all up in my A." And then they're talking about Natalie, and Paul's like, "Honestly, I think Natalie took advantage of your kindness, but I hope it all works out for you in the end." And then they were discussing how Natalie called James her soulmate in her goodbye speech. So that was pretty interesting. James was like, "Oh man, like, those are some deep words. That means a lot." I don't know. Was she genuine when she said that? She was like really hot and cold all week, and then whoop, she snaps it on for the freaking live show. So I don't know. But anyway, the house guests were all hanging out in the Tokyo room, pretty much. I think maybe Victor wasn't there. I'm not sure. But Paul was asking, you know, why was Natalie so confident that she was leaving this past week? Like, nobody said anything to her, so, like, why was she so sure she was leaving? And James was like, well, Natalie didn't think that Nicole and Corey would vote for her to stay over me. You know, they were the deciding votes this week, and she didn't have the best relationship with them. Also, he says Natalie thought that Nicole knew that she was targeting her earlier in the game, and Nicole's just like, wait, what? Like, she had no idea that Natalie was after her. Alright, so then Paul is like, wow, that's 2 girls in a row going to jury that effing hate you, Nicole. And Nicole's like, I don't get it. I've literally done nothing wrong. Oh, it kills me when she says this because, like, I don't mind when people lie in the game. Like, it's a game. But what kills me is when people do not own up to their game moves. Like, if you're going to make a badass move, you should own it. But, like, she is going through this whole season saying that she's done nothing wrong. You flip-flopped back and forth a few times, and guess what? She's going to do it again. But her reasoning is Natalie hates her because of the whole bumper car cuddle incident with James. It happened on day 34, and I only know that because, like, they keep bringing it up over and over again. Like, 34, James asked Nicole to cuddle in the bumper car, or like she asked him, or whatever. And she's saying that Michelle hates her because she's also from Michigan, so there's like that competitiveness there, and whatever. Alright, so it was time for Corey's HOH room reveal. He got a letter from his sister, who James is already like, I know I got like something maybe with Natalie, but like if not, your sister, she's pretty cute. Oh, jeez! Alright, he got a Taylor Swift CD. Why am I not surprised? He got a pillow with pictures of his dog Rory on it. That's freaking sweet, man. I would love a pillow with my dog's pictures on it. That's awesome. But anyway, after everybody left, it was time for Nicole and Corey to have their strategy chat. And he's like, straight up, I'm putting Victor and Paul up on the block. And Victor is his target this week. So Nicole is pooing her pants. She's like, what if James is working with Victor and Paul? She's really paranoid that they're going to go up on the block. James is going to win the power veto, use it on one of them, and then she's going to go up because she would be the only other option, and they would just get rid of her. And Corey's like, no freaking way. James is not going to use the power veto if he wins. Just like, chillax. So Nicole's like, still, Corey, I want you to talk to James. I want you to make sure that he would not use the veto before we go through with this. She also wants Corey to tell James about the Final Four deal that they had with Paul and Victor because she doesn't want the guys getting to James before them. Why is Corey the one responsible for all these conversations? Nicole's really puppeteering right now. I see it. I see it. Will she own up to it? No. Alright, so anyway, Paul goes up to the HOH room. He's like, what's the plan? Who's going up with James? You know, because the plan was to go after James this week. You know, get the Final Four alliance to the Final Four. So he's assuming that it will be either himself or Victor going up on the block with James. So Paul's like, I'm cool with going up. It's whatever. Like, I trust you guys to keep me safe. And he's saying, like, if you do want to throw me a bone and put up Victor instead, that's cool too. But, like, either way, as long as we win the veto, we're all good. We just can't let James win it. So he doesn't really get an answer from Corey, but that's kind of Paul's own fault because he just keeps talking and talking and talking. So Corey's just like, yeah, doggy sounds good. Alright, so then it's time for Victor and Paul to have a game chat, and they're like, alright, what's going on? Like, are we good this week? Are we going to be safe? So Paul is wondering, like, will Nicole and Corey stick to the Final Four deal? Victor is very confident that they are going to stay loyal. He feels like their bond is bigger than just this game. It's friendship. He doesn't see them turning on them. So Paul, on the other hand, is not as confident. He's like, yeah, but like, this is a game, and it might make sense for them to put us up. So then they're thinking still it's going to be one of them and James on the block. So ideally, they want the one who's not up on the block to win the power veto and use it on the one that is, and get Nicole up on the block. But even with Nicole on the block, I'm pretty sure they were still planning on getting rid of James this week. Alright, so then it's time for James to visit Nicole and Corey in the HOH room. He's like, so what are y'all planning? What's going on? And Corey's like, what do you think, doggy? So James says, I think you guys are going to go after some big fish this week. So James is not dumb. He knows that he's not the target right now. He's sitting pretty. So they tell him, yeah, Paul and Victor are going up. Victor's the target. So James agrees not to use the veto if he wins. And he's like, I'm ready to play dumb. You know, I'll do whatever you need me to do this week. I'm relieved and ready to play now that Natalie's gone. It really was like a heavy burden on him. He had to constantly check on her and all this stuff. So now that she is gone, he can really focus on the game. How nice that you're just starting to focus on the game when there's only 5 people left. Cool. Alright, so they pretty much make a final 3 agreement. If I was in that house, I would have to laugh in Nicole and Corey's face. To like make a deal like that when they've made so many final blank deals so far, it's ridiculous. I don't know, they freaking had that Final Four deal with Paul and Victor, but in their minds, it wasn't. Like, Nicole is saying, like, no, we each, like, helped each other out, so we're even now. This is fine. Like, they're trying to rationalize it, but no. A Final Four agreement means you go to the Final Four. Whatever. So anyway, today, Corey was practicing his nomination speech with Nicole, and he's all like, I'm playing Big Brother, not Big Baby. He really wants to throw that in there. He loves that phrase. So he's going to say, like, I don't want to risk Nicole going up on the block as a replacement nominee, so I got to put you two both up there. And he's saying, like, Paul and Victor, you guys are two strong competitors. I know that you guys would do the same thing in this situation. No they wouldn't, because while this conversation is happening, Paul and Victor are chatting in the safari room. First of all, Victor is in a bad mood today. He's feeling claustrophobic. He's just, like, pissed. He wants to punch a wall. So he's not happy. I think, honestly, Victor is realizing, like, oh, shit, the others are going to work with James. They're friggin' done with us. I think he realizes that, but he doesn't want to admit it, and he's trying to stay positive. They're still speculating about what Nicole and Corey are going to do. Honestly, though, Victor mentioned that, like, Nicole and Corey aren't really hanging out with them anymore. They're just hanging out in the HOH room by themselves. That's fishy, isn't it? So, I think he knows, but it's like that week when he was going home the first time, and he told everybody, like, no, I think I'm safe, but, you know, he knew he was going. So I think it's one of those situations. But Victor's saying, like, if I was in their shoes, I would not screw them over. You know, he would still go for James this week. So he's saying he's going to be really sour if the two of them are up on the block. And if they want a stress-free week, they'll just stick to the plan. What's going to happen? Nicole has been so paranoid, that Paul and Victor are going to freak out after these nominations, and she keeps saying, like, they're going to do pots and pans, and of course, that is a reference to Evil Dick's season 8, when he went around and, like, woke people up banging on pots and pans. She thinks that they're going to do that. I don't know. I think they're going to be pissed when they're up on the block, but I don't know how far they're going to take it. We'll see. It would be kind of funny if they did pots and pans, because it's been a long time. But then, a little while later, Paul and Victor were freaking arguing about the VMAs. Like, they were actually arguing, and it was kind of ridiculous. But I think they're okay now. They're not going to be later, because nominations are today. And it, you know, Paul and Victor, it's pretty certain they're going up on the block. Corey's building quite a resume for himself, I have to say. It's, like, disgusting, but, like, he could, if he gets a few more moves in there before this thing's all over, he could make a pretty good case for himself to win. Alright, so they're doing nominations right now, so check back later. I will put them in the info for the spoiler, but it's gonna be Paul and Victor. So let me know what you guys think, and until tomorrow, much love.